the lack of releasing our emotions affects us. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I do know that this is to be true. And from personal experience and experience through others, there's all these different literatures that say that our emotions are stored in different places.
Welcome to the Lara Jane Layton Show. This podcast is for you, the person who keeps putting others first. Your self-talk has held you back. You no longer need to take a second seat. Let's explore ways to overcome self-doubt. You can silence that inner bully voice and achieve your full potential. Here's your host, Lara Jane. Welcome to the show, friend. My best friend Danielle is here with us today. And yes, she has been on the podcast before, and I loved her so much. We're back again. And this time we are going to talk about our emotions and how our bodies hold them. What is it that we are affecting in our body? We all have weird things going on. It's like maybe it could be attached to an emotion. And so we're going to talk about this. But before we get started, we're going to get a quick word from our sponsor. When we come back, Danielle's going to help me understand why when I'm pissy, it stays in my body. So we'll be right back.
This is Adam Adams, co-founder of Optimized LLC, where we take the guesswork out of your health. If you're feeling exhausted, struggling with weight, or just not feeling yourself anymore, your hormones might be the problem. And that's why we test, not guess. Analyzing your blood work to pinpoint exactly what's holding you back. At Optimized LLC, we help you rebalance your hormones, boost energy, and reclaim your life. Don't settle for normal. Aim for optimized. Just go to optimized.com to book your free introductory coaching call. It's a free call to help you take the first step toward feeling your best.
All right, Danielle, the information about using the show notes. I know emotions affect my body, but I don't know how it stores it or what it does. And I know you know these things. So help me understand why I even care what my emotions are.
Well, thank you, Laura Jane, again, for reaching out and asking me to be back. I loved being on your podcast and talking with your audience. And I think it's a very interesting topic, how the lack of releasing our emotions affects us. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I do know that this is to be true. And from personal experience and experience through others, and there's a lot of literature out there. There's The Body Keeps Score. There's all these different literatures that say that our emotions are stored in different places. And we can all be like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. Until it affects us, right? Like all of a sudden we have illnesses. We were talking about how, or I was reading about how 85%-ish of women have autoimmune disorders. And it makes me wonder, why? Why? And so I started looking into, and I really believe it's because we hold on to these emotions. We do not process these emotions, right? Women are not supposed to be angry. I don't know what.
Yeah, because if you are, you're a bitch, right?
Right? Women are not supposed to be angry, but yet we're too emotional.
That sounds goofy.
It really does. It really does. And so in my efforts to really understand like my own autoimmune disease and my own ability. So I am an angry person, apparently, says everyone that works with me, all the healers, all the different folks that I've come in contact with, their scans, all the new scans now, Laura Jane, have you ever seen any of those, right? They all tell me I'm a.
All of mine tell me I'm stubborn. It's like, no, I'm not.
Just ask me. I'm not stubborn. And so anger is very interesting because when you start looking into emotions and connecting into autoimmune disease, my autoimmune disease is related to anger. So I heard it the other day. I was at a training called Heal the Body, Talk to the Body and Heal. And so I'm a consulting hypnotist. And so I was in this hypnotist training with the hypnotist trainers with the Master Hypnotist Society. It's really just an amazing opportunity to learn about these things. And the analogy goes, imagine you're wearing overalls and all your overalls has all your little pockets. And you got to stuff all of your emotions in your little pockets. All your heartbreak gets in your little heart pocket. All your fear gets stuck in your little kidney pocket. That one's really interesting because my mother had kidney cancer. And when I heard this analogy, I went back into her life in my head and was like, oh, I see that. That was 15 years ago. We've been on borrowed time and mom is still with us. But I'm like, oh, I see that. So fear gets shoved in your kidneys. Do, 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 do. And then all of a sudden your pockets are full. What happens when your pockets are full, right? You get heavy. You get overloaded and your body can do nothing but react to the bullshit that you just shoved in it because you have decided that you're not going to be emotional. You're not going to be, this, you're not going to be that, you're not going to be this. And I just want to look normal and act normal and everything's normal. It's normal. It's normal.
I will not cry. I will not get angry. I will not. And we kind of turn our outside into a robot and have shut down all that inside, but it's there. It's not getting out.
And it's boiling up. It's creating issues in our body. It's creating issues in our peptides, right? So like the peptides that are released by the hippocampus, like that's a whole control center. And if we're doing negative things, it's creating negative things. If we're saying negative things, it's creating negative things. If we're holding on to negative things, it's creating negative things. Like it's literally giving you back what you give to it. So crying is a really interesting thing because crying is the release of those emotions. And even angry, have you ever seen somebody so angry that they're crying?
Yes.
That is the release of that emotion. And so instead of just staying in it, and I was meeting with a client the other day and she says, well, I just stuffed my emotions. And I'm like, well, that's dumb because I know exactly what happens when you do that. Because I did that.
Me too. For years. I call it my robot years.
I also wonder if weight gain is a little more than hormonal as we age. When we're stuffing all of our pockets full. Now, I'm a big lady. I'm not judging anybody. But that's why I'm wondering.
Well, for me, yes, I'm also on the large side. Some people would say more than that. But, it's stuffing those emotions and holding them and protecting them. And it's like, oh, if I get heavy, nobody will approach me. Nobody will talk to me and I'll be safe.
That is a protection mechanism.
Safety protection.
Yeah. That's a protection mechanism. We actually call that a strategy to protect yourself against being hurt. When hurt is a normal part of the human experience, but also like we allow a lot of what happens to us.
And we relive it. We may not have asked it to come to us in a verbal sense. But when it gets there, we hold on to it. It's like, that so-and-so said this. And and the more we relive it, it's ourselves causing the pain.
Right. Because your brain doesn't actually know the difference between it happening now and it happening in your head. Like if it happened 5 years ago and you're replaying it in your head, your body is reacting as if it's happening today. As if it's happening right now. Like your brain does not know the difference. So reliving something like that also doesn't support letting go of those emotions. It supports reinstalling those strategies and those problems over and over and over again instead of working through to get out of those. And I have that same protection thing where if you just, I did this with, if you become unattractive, no one will want you. Well, that's not true, I have discovered. Um, that's just my own head, right?
Well, you
Um,
kind of get raised that way, you know?
uh-huh.
TV tells you that it's the pretty women that get everything and the
Mhm,
ugly one is just following. And I was the same way as like, oh, I'm never going to find love. And you go, oh, well, I want someone to love me for who I am, not what I look like. And so
mhm,
let's build this extra part of me to prove that they really love me.
mm. Man, that's a strategy, right? Whew.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it is, but it's part of, it's part of what we do. And I think there's power in knowing how your brain works. There's power in knowing what you're doing to yourself, right? Notice what you're noticing. There's power in knowing how your brain works. There's power in knowing what you're doing to yourself. And then that is when actual change can happen. Because if you don't know what you're doing to yourself, and if you don't notice how it's affecting you, you're going to be walking around with blinders on, like, well, this doesn't apply to me. This doesn't apply to me. This doesn't apply to me. Everything Laura Jane and Danielle is talking about doesn't apply to me. I don't stuff my emotions. I swear.
Have you ever hidden your frustration? Have you ever hidden your annoyance? Have you ever hidden your disappointment because you didn't want someone else to feel bad? I hide those things still because, there's a lot of people that can read past it, but you don't want to have your kids say something and then you react in this, oh, you're a bad person, where it's like, it's just a thing you're going through. It doesn't, like,
Hmm.
so you really change or you don't cry or boo hoo hoo. You control your reaction and it's okay, but it does cause problems.
Hmm. I work with a lot of women CEOs, and I had one in the office yesterday. And her business partner, who happens to be a man, says, you just need to give grace. And she says, I've been giving grace. And when people make mistakes, you need to understand you made a mistake, know how you made it, then change your behavior. This same mistake has been made over and over and over again. I am out of grace. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. Yes. Like, it's okay to be out of grace. It's okay to be frustrated without that changed behavior in other people. But we can't control other people. We can only control our thoughts, our actions, our time. And we can instill processes in which those other people get to follow to change, in effect, change that behavior. But it's really funny because that's that response that we get, whether it's from business partners, from life partners, from parents, from siblings, from whomever. We get the, oh, you just need to add more grace, have more grace. Because our feelings is not valid. Our being frustrated with the fact that you keep making the same mistake over and over isn't valid. Oh, but we're going to stuff all that down. We're going to make ourselves sick because that is going to, make you feel better.
And it's an interesting subject phrase to come from a man. Like, where'd he learn that one? uh, it's
You might have
like,
been listening to a podcast. You never
yeah,
know.
yeah, could have been because a lot of them just say, "Get over it,
Right.
get over it."
Mistakes happen. It is what it is. Oh, don't get me started. That saying, it is what it is a way to circumvent accountability and ownership, and it drives me nuts. No, no. Sorry.
It was what it was, but it doesn't have to be going forward.
That drives me insane. Anyways, I digress.
That's okay. We all go crazy over something like the one phrase, and all of a sudden you're triggered into a certain emotion or flaw. And nice that you acknowledged it. I mean, I was like, hey, I just got in this emotion and you acknowledged it. And that we sometimes forget to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really good because, and that's part of letting some of this go is really communicating, right? So if an event triggers you, I have said it so many times recently. Do you remember? I don't know if your parents ever put you in timeout, but I
Oh,
was in timeout a lot.
oh,
A lot. I was a tough kid. I was in timeout a lot. And of course, I didn't realize as a kid what timeout was for, right?
give my
Timeout
mom
was
some
not,
time.
it was not for me. It was not for me. It was so my parents didn't beat the living crap out of me. Like, to be serious, I was that kid, you
Me
know?
too.
And I didn't realize that the timeout wasn't for me. It wasn't for me to sit and stew about what I had done, even though that's what they tell you. Go think about what you did. And then anticipate the inevitable. My dad definitely was a spanking dad, and he was very good in how he did that. He was not abusive. There was a clear line between abuse and discipline. And so it was a very, of course we hated his kids and oh my gosh, don't hit me. But it was, in hindsight, he did a great job, especially considering where he came from. But I didn't realize until I was an adult that timeout was for them to calm down, not for me to anticipate what was going to happen and be all anxious and figure out what anxiety was at the age of 6. And anxiety is just projecting a negative outcome into the future, which only ruins today. Like, we all also need to stop that. We all also need to stop this. But anyway, I've been having conversations with clients about taking adult timeouts. Why can't we take an adult timeout? If we're getting overflooded with emotions, if something is happening, why can't we just go, you know what? I need 5 minutes. So the only composure that you have to have is not to stuff your pockets, but it's just to say, I need 5 minutes. And you just excuse yourself, feel the feelings, however you want to feel the feelings. After my divorce, I took grief coaching. It was amazing, right? The recommendation was to take a tennis racket and beat the bed. And I'm like, but I'm not angry. Remember, Danielle's not angry. Danielle's not angry. Danielle's never angry, but everything says Danielle's angry. And it was the best suggestion on the planet. So take a tennis racket, beat the bed because it's fun, but take that adult time out and go handle your emotions in the way you need to handle it without stuffing your pockets. Your pockets are likely already full, period.
Mm-hmm.
Especially us ladies. Your pockets are full. Stop stuffing your pockets. That's ridiculous. We don't have to hurt ourselves. We're not going to continue to walk on the same fire just because it's fun, but we're going to continue to stuff our pockets. We're not going to walk in the lion's den over and over again, but we're going to stuff our pockets.
You know what I'm thinking is, I always talk about we need to refill ourselves, you're draining yourself and stuff. And I always do the analogy of you got to stop to fill up with gas. Well, why not empty the crap out of the car? What do? We take, that garbage sack and we put it in the garbage. While we're filling up, we're cleaning up the car. What a perfect time to let go of some of those emotions. Yeah, there's going to be times you're going to want to hide it. You're in a strict negotiation. You're starting to get frustrated. You still have to keep your cool, but you can go to the gas station and let all that garbage out right then. Because you're not always in a position where you can just start crying. It doesn't help in a negotiation process. It doesn't help
Right.
when you're trying to get hired and you, like there's so many places you are going to stuff it,
Mhm.
but let it go. Part of that
Right.
refuel is also take a little cleanup cycle.
Right. I love that. Emptying your pockets in the trash can while you're there emptying your car.
Yeah.
right? I love that. I also think that there are techniques that we can do in moments like this. Not think, I know there are techniques that we can do in moments like this that instead of stuffing, we can not push it aside, but reframe and change the emotion surrounding things. So interestingly enough, right, we are more in control of ourselves than we give ourselves credit for. Our brain is a remote control and our body is a robot. What we tell ourselves to do, our body will do. Like literally, what we tell ourselves to do, our body will do. So if in the event we're stuck in a frustration, we're in a negotiation, it's starting to get heated, there are breathing exercises that you can literally do in front of people and they won't know that you're doing it. And it changes your mood instantly from fear and overwhelm to calm and collected. In hypnosis, we actually also do these things called anchors.
Mhm.
And we can anchor in those feelings. So I have an anchor, it's right here.
Around your wrist.
Right. So when
Or
I'm
it's like
standing up
a
and I'm speaking, right, this is a natural look. If somebody has their hands down in front of them, this is a natural look for people. For me, it's an anchor for strong, calm, and confident. So there are breathing techniques that you can do in front of and now it's not, you don't look stupid doing them. People don't know you're doing them. What would be the point of that? But there are breathing techniques you can do in the moment to change your mood, to release the dopamine and endorphins that make you happy because happy people don't kill other people.
You're right. I sure hope you're
No,
gonna teach us one of these.
I can. I sure can. And then there's anchors that you can do and have in place to change the mood, create the feelings that you want to create. And and so those are really the cool things that maybe even in some of the tough emotional spots, even if we can't take an adult timeout, I would highly recommend we take an adult timeout. If we do not feel that we're able to, we're in a boardroom, we're in front of our entire team, and somebody just hit that hot button, just hit that hot button. And in that moment, being able to regulate yourself without causing more long-term damage by stuffing your pockets, I think is the most important tool that you can have.
And in the boardroom, I've seen plenty of times when someone said, I need to use the restroom. I'll be back in 5.
Yep.
Or I just got a text from my family, or, I need to. You don't have to make the excuse, but it's just saying, I need 5. However you want to phrase it, walk out and come back in.
Mm-hmm.
And I people do it. And does anybody ever look at them as silly? No, not well. Okay. There might be a few times when it was a heated conversation that it disrupts it, but it's exactly what the conversation needed.
Right. And the only person that's mad about the disruption is the one who thinks they're in control. So that is also a good indication of where does everybody behaviorally feel like they are in the room? Because the one person that's mad is the one person that thinks that they have the upper hand. And as soon as you take a break and realize that, oh, they think they have the upper hand, and we're going to go ahead and take this break. And then I'm going to come back and take it back.
And when I've seen people do that, I've also seen the facilitator say, hey, let's all take a break. We'll be back in 5. Gets everybody that calm
Mm-hmm.
down thing. Or they'll say 10 instead of 5.
Right. Or 7.
Mm-hmm.
There's a psychological thing. If you say 7 minutes, people will actually be back in 10. If you say 10 minutes, they'll be back in 13.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
I don't
so
think I
weird.
witnessed that much, except for maybe a few people, but most people were always back on time.
It's so weird. And it just kind of depends on the group, how many people there are. Are they friends? Do they know each other? But I always say 7 because it also disrupts the pattern of, well, that doesn't make
Mhm.
any sense. Why 7? That's so, well, okay. And so a lot of the pattern disrupts are very good in situations like that. So if you notice right now, I'm looking up, right? And you can tell that I'm looking up. Can you tell that I'm looking up?
I can, yes.
No, I can't see. But I'm looking up. And the cool thing about looking up is you are actually, a lot of people will think that this is you thinking, which technically this is you thinking. But if you're properly oriented, if you're misoriented or when reverse
So
oriented,
up
you're
to the right is
Mhm. When you're looking at me,
constructive, right?
when you're looking at me when you are looking to me up to your right is recall, up to your left
Is
is
construct.
construct. Right.
And then
So
straight up is get you out of the emotion.
straight up gets you out of the emotion because what it does is it puts you into your visual cortex. Your visual cortex is going to be attached to your pineal gland. That's where all those fun endorphins are. So if we look up and we just look like we're thinking, right? No one's going to say, oh my God, Danielle, what's wrong with you? Now, if I'm doing this, I'm technically still looking up. You don't know that I'm looking up because my eyes are closed.
Yeah.
You might interpret this as what?
De-stressing, sleeping, calming down. I
So,
just, and looking down is where you hit more emotion.
yeah.
It's like that is, if you ever start to cry and you try to change the way your eyes are looking, it
Look up.
definitely is tough to look up
It
because you
is.
want to look towards your heart.
You do. You do. And in our hypnosis practice, we call it changing physiology first. Like if you're looking down and you're sad and you can watch people like crumble in, the best thing for them to do is literally like change their physiology. But if you're in a stressful situation, you can just look up and you just start to breathe.
Do you count or do you just pay attention to the breath on your nose?
You can do either one. I really like to do a 3 count in and a 6 count out just through the nose if you can. And there's a lot of, side story stuff around why through the nose. And then the in is shorter than the out. The out is longer. So I like to count 3 in and 6 out. And I'll do that 3 times. And I'll just keep my eyes locked in on a spot. And it literally just looks like I'm thinking and breathing.
It works. Are you trying it? That's for our friend that's here with us because you're doing such a great job.
So everything else can be happening around you, right? And you don't have to look like you're doing anything. They could be talking, they could be this, they could be that. It was Mary Kay Ash who said, don't speak for the first 45 minutes and just listen.
Mm-hmm.
Just listen. So go into your listening mode, breathe in. I felt the need to do that right then because I was feeling a little like raw explaining this in a non like office clinical setting. So it was a little bit weird for me just now. And there's a lot more talk to it. There's a lot more explanation, but honestly, you just look up, you just breathe in and out 3 times, just control the breath, calm it down. You don't even have to count. Just focus in, calm it down. And then what I like to do is I like to take a long eye close and then I roll my eyeballs back and forth like you're rolling your eyes at your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
I close my eyes to do that because otherwise you rolling your eyes at people and then they get a little bit like, what are you doing? But yeah, you can just take that. And so activating your visual cortex and slowing down your breathing actually allows your brain to release the endorphins to change your mood immediately. So it's a really, really cool, it's called Hakalau. But it's a really, really cool technique that you can do in front of everybody to change your mood instead of stuffing down your emotions.
So, should your head also be upright, or could you pretend like you were writing notes and looking up like across the table?
Hmm. I think
I
having your head upright really allows
Mhm.
that whole system to work. And so you could even, gaze outside the window. I don't know. I think there's different points. If you're not comfortable doing it in front of people, just make make an exit. And you can couple it even with belly breathing. We all probably know what belly breathing is by now, right? When you breathe in, your belly goes out. When you breathe out, your belly goes in towards your spine. And there's so many different ways you can do that. And nobody really knows what you're doing, because here's the thing. People have to stop thinking about themselves, and they have to stop thinking about what they're going to say next in order to pay attention to you. And they are likely not paying attention to you.
Yep. They're paying attention to a slide, the presenter, or unless, of course, you're doing all of that stuff.
Right. And even then, if you're doing all of it, just take your breaks.
Absolutely. As my favorite thing is, okay, everybody break.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just re-energizes the room.
Well, and it changes the physiology. When people take breaks, they're likely going to stand up. They're likely going to rearrange themselves in the chair. They're likely going to walk around. And that change in the physiology already changes your mood.
Yep.
So there's lots of different ways, but I think just getting ourselves out of the habit of filling full our pockets. Like, yes, we need to go to the gas station, like Laura Jane said. And yes, we need to unload our car and take out the trash. But we can also unload our pockets from all of our emotional receipts and put them in the trash can too. And do that regularly throughout our day, not just when we're in a heated situation.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Just do it all the time. We can unload things. I don't know. Every once in a while, I want to cry. Just do it. Apparently, too, when you're crying, they say you're supposed to take the tears and put it on your tongue.
I've never heard that. What is it supposed to do?
I think it's supposed to, I don't remember.
Well, okay, so let's move on then. If we come up with it later, we can talk about it. But then what are some of the others? I love the breathing. I love the idea of, and I'll focus on my nose. Just what is it feeling? Just to kind of get my brain into a different spot. But that extra breath, this is one that I do a lot, and just empty my breath as much as I can. And I'll empty, and then I'll hold it and then empty some more and then breathe in. And it's just that rush of oxygen when you get that old stale stuff out of the bottom of your lungs and everything else like, oh, this is so good. So that's one that I do anywhere because nobody knows, nobody cares. And it just makes me feel that rush of energy.
Well, and on the breath out is where relaxation is. So the longer you're breathing out, the more your body is interpreting it as relaxation.
Oh, okay.
Breathing in is getting prepared for something. So imagine, I don't run, but imagine if you ran. you, you breathe in a lot more quickly because you're preparing to fill your lungs with what you need for running. And then when you're done running, they start breathing out more often because that's where relaxation and calm sits, is on the out breath. In is the preparation breath.
Okay. Because it's funny because that's exactly what it's like when I'm starting something new. It's always that. And I never thought about it. It's the one that's getting us started.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Preparation and then the relaxation. And so that's why I like making the out longer, because I don't need to prepare for a whole lot, but I do need to learn to relax.
Oh, I love it. So is there any other fun? I mean, because we all stuff our emotions, even men, women, young children, old people. Okay, there may be one person who's enlightened so much that they don't.
And they might be lying.
Yeah, they could be lying. But yeah, so what are some of the other tricks we can do just to let, I don't like the word let go because release, let it do its thing.
I think maybe instead of trying to figure out how to release it, what if we get the feeling that we want instead? So if I want, I do this presentation where I talk about hacking brain chemicals. So, like, if you want to be happy, you do the tasks that make you happy, that release your happiness chemicals. If you want to sleep better at night, you do the things that make you sleep better. Can I screen share?
Yeah. Well,
Maybe?
yes, they won't
Maybe?
see it.
Okay. Well, I'll send this over to you. I mean, I just, stole it off the internet. Don't worry. I have the citation of where I stole it from. I
Okay.
don't share things without,
Permission or sharing
right.
where you got it.
Or telling, yeah, where I got it. So I have that. I'll send both of those to you guys. But this is so focusing on releasing the certain things is great. But what if we chose what we wanted instead? So if we're feeling overwhelmed, what if we wanted to feel rewards, right? We love us some dopamine, let me tell you. Completing a task releases that dopamine. Doing self-care activities. So for those of us who have a very big habit of stuffing things, we may consider, how are we taking care of ourselves? And not just in the do we get our hair done and our pedicure kind of way. Like, are we hydrated? Are we eating good food? Are we moving our body? I don't care if you have a gym membership. Are you moving your body? You can dance in the kitchen. It doesn't matter. You can pace your house and walk 10,000 steps a day. That's such an arbitrary number. You can are you feeding your body well? Are you hydrating your body well? Are you moving your body? All those type of self-care activities. Are you managing your time? Is a self-care activity we don't talk about very often. Well, I talk about often, but the majority of the world doesn't talk about how self-care is managing your time, managing your transitions, allowing for transitions, and taking a tech break. But that's okay. Anyways, eating food, my favorite reward chemical, right?
Mhm.
Eating food. Celebrating the little wins. So the thing that we get when we start getting emotional, and we're talking about stuffing emotions, and all of the things that we end up doing, it's because we have forgotten that there's also the little wins. There's also the little wins. So celebrating those little wins instead of saying, oh yeah, I just finished that thing. Okay, what's next? Celebrate the fact that you finished it. If you're a social media poster, post it on there that you finished it. I have a done list. So I don't have a to-do list, I have a done list. And so I get to put it on my done list and I get to go through and look at all the things that I have done. You want really good feelings? Go look at all the things you have done instead of focusing on the things you haven't done.
I like the to-done list.
Mm-hmm.
It's very helpful because you
Do
look
you
at
sing
it
it?
and there's a reward. There's,
Mhm.
look at all this. Ta-da!
Yeah. Do you sing it? Ta-dun!
I haven't, but I will going forward.
Yep. You should do it. Ta-da! It's my favorite thing in the world. So if you want oxytocin, right? The love hormone. This is where playing with dogs and babies and holding hands and hugging your family and giving compliments. Did you know that you can create oxytocin in your own brain by just giving a compliment?
Well, maybe that's why I love to give compliments all the time. I had no idea, but I do. And people are like, why do you do that to a stranger? Because I wanted to.
Well, it's a double effect, right? It makes them feel good, but it also makes you feel good. So choosing what we want and taking back control of our brain, I think, is the most important thing that we can do. Because when we're stuffing our emotions, when we're giving into old strategies, all we're doing is creating the same hurtful patterns instead of choosing helpful patterns. So, like serotonin, right? This is our mood stabilizer. This also helps with sleep. Meditating, running, sun exposure, walking in nature, swimming, cycling, all the outdoors things. right? Because serotonin stabilizes your mood. It also, in effect, makes you happy. It helps you sleep better. When you sleep better, you're not cranky. When you're not cranky, you're not mean to people. When you're not mean to people, they're not mean to you back. When they're not mean to you back, you're not suffering the emotions of the feelings of them being mean to you back, even though it started because maybe we didn't sleep well.
Ugh, if you don't sleep well, it can disrupt a day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then endorphins are the funnest ones. Like we love endorphins and dopamine, right? Endorphins are the painkiller. Like laughter, exercise. I have no idea why laughter exercise is not its own bullet point. Again, I didn't create this. I will send you the link of where I got it from. Um, Essential oils, watching a comedy, dark chocolate also happens to be my favorite one to use. And then exercising again. So I think that this is just a fun way. So instead of trying to go against or releasing what's happening, choose what you want instead. Replace your normal habits of reacting with things that will help you feel better in the moment, would be my advice.
I love it because chocolate, of course, and hot
Right.
chocolate, why not? I keep essential oils on my desk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This one in my hand happens to be wild orange. It's supposed to release
Ooh, I love.
happiness. And, and it works for me. And whether it's placebo or not, I don't care. It
Right.
works.
Right. It truly doesn't matter. Even if it is placebo, if you believe that it works, it's going to work. What your brain believes, your body will do. Period.
Yeah.
Like if we learn nothing today, that should be our lesson.
Your body will do what the brain told it to do.
Tells it to
It-
do. Mm-hmm.
And it does.
Mm-hmm. And your words matter. How you talk to yourself matters. We all talk about, there's all these things out there about talk good to yourself. Don't stop the negative self-talk, whatever. And it's totally true because those negative words will affect that hippocampus. And that's the center where all this stuff comes from. And we want good things coming out of there. We want good things coming out of there. We don't want bad things coming out of there.
Well, and they say, it's what you focus on. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're focusing on the negativity, that's what you get more of. If you focus on there is no positive or negative, I know, but what makes you feel good? Yeah, like I use the analogy, I might say, Danielle, I love you so much. And you would take it as a compliment. And I could tell my best friend who's been beaten, abused, and I love you. And all of a sudden she hears that and she cringes up because that comes with a beating, you know?
Uh-huh.
And so we all react to different words differently. And so trying the switch ups, if you don't like the word love, what does work? Hey, I really respect you. Does that work? What are those words? And playing with them. And the verses don't ever use should. Okay, I can get rid of that. Don't use hate. Don't but sometimes they just feel like part of it, and it's okay to use them.
Right.
It's just okay to feed your soul. What do you look at? What you look at grows. You're watering that. So pick the things you love,
Mm-hmm.
reflect on, and to let grow.
And I think that's the coolest part. We get to pick. We get to pick what we want. We get to pick what we love. We get to pick what we do. But yet we all sometimes fall into life is happening to us, not for us. And we get into this reactive mode of that everything is coming in and we can't control any of it. But we can control us and how we react to things, our thoughts, our actions, our time. But I see it a lot. People just spiral in and around this whole I, my life is terrible. Everything bad happens to me. And if it's going to be bad, it's going to happen to me. Well, yeah, if you keep saying that.
Well, and some of us, it's attention. If I tell somebody I'm having a bad day, I get some sympathy. And
Right.
that feels good. That feels like somebody cares about me. but do they want to stay around you? It's like, I love this friendship and I want to make it stay. And if I focus on the good things, people are going to want to be around you more. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is not a blanket statement because there are a lot of people. At one time I was told, well, we just want to talk bad. Well, okay, fine, do.
Oh, well, I mean, at least they're honest, I suppose, right?
Yeah, but it's just like, you get a pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think choosing what you want to feel instead of letting whatever comes come. Because whatever comes, whatever emotion comes, right? The way our brain works, it's pulling forward an emotion from a past experience, and the past doesn't belong in the present or the future. It doesn't. No matter what experience you're experiencing, you likely have not experienced it before unless you're walking into the same lion's den over and over. Or in that lion's den, I mean, seriously, if you're in a domestic violence situation, you're likely walking into the same lion's den over and over. So that is clearly also what I mean. But most of us are not. And since we're not, that past emotion is not necessarily going to affect us in a positive way right now. The past doesn't belong in the present or the future. So instead of allowing whatever is coming forward, instead of allowing, I'm just going to stuff this down, I'm just going to do this, like, let's choose to do something different, something that's going to help us. Whether it's get up and move, whether it's take a breathing second, whether it's look up and take a breathing second, whether it's calling a timeout, choose what you're going to do instead of just being reactive to the emotion that your amygdala gives you first, because it's not always going to be the one that's helpful in the moment, but it will be the one that is the easiest.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes easy is not the best.
Yeah.
I like easy. I strive for easy. I strive for just going down the river as it flows and not fighting the current. But there are times when you need to fight the current. And at that moment, let it happen.
So I think that's what I would say. It just, it's almost like getting out of our own way, right? My dad, he used to say, if you do what you've always done, you get what you've always got. Pretty sure that's in the dad manual.
Yeah.
Like somewhere, there's a dad manual out there, a mom manual, parent manual that says, if you do what you've always done, you get what you've always got. Well, you know what? Don't tell him he was right. Don't tell him. Don't you dare tell him. But he was right, right? Like, if you do the same things over and over, you're going to get the same things over and over. And then your body is going to react in a way that you're not going to like at the end, I promise.
Mhm. It's a adjustment, to really make that transition. Like, just imagine you changing your eating from your right hand to your left hand because you just broke your right hand, or vice versa. It's not easy at first, but you can get to the point where it's just as capable as your right hand used to be. But it is a transition. And to know that sometimes the transitions take longer than others, and you're getting there, you're on the right path. It's okay. It's like, it's okay to drop this food off the spoon because you couldn't quite control it to your mouth, but you're getting it. You're doing it. It's okay to be a beginner. Look at what the kids did when they were first. Oh, they couldn't even hit their mouth, like hit their cheek, hit their chin. And it happens, but it's a process.
What was that saying? When learning a new skill, be brave enough to suck at it for a while.
Yeah. And every time we reword something, every time we release a word out of our vocabulary because it's not serving us, it takes adjustment. I have to stop. Wait, that's not what I meant. Reword and move on. And it's okay to do that right in front of people. Redo.
Right. I'll say something I'm not supposed to, and I'll be like, cancel, cancel.
Or I think it, and then I'll cancel out loud.
I'll re-say it.
Or try to rephrase it like, okay, sorry, I'm late. Okay, wait. Thank you for waiting for me. Thank you for waiting for me. Thank you for waiting for me. Thank you for getting started without me. What is it that I am switching it to?
Right.
and just really dig that down in deeper.
Mm-hmm. I like thank you for your patience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then I like it. But the first thing that came in my brain when you said that was,
Mm-hmm.
and how do you know I'm being patient? That
Well, I'm asserting a positive word into your brain so that it convinces you that you were patient.
no, I agree. I agree. It's good. It's like my little stubbornness. Like, how do you know?
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
don't
that
know
little
me.
girl that we all have inside us. It's like, I don't have to. Girl, you need to be quiet.
Yes, eventually.
Oh, well, that's another thing we could work on.
So I did look up that tear thing.
Oh,
So,
good. Thank you.
what it is by tasting it, you're honoring the fact that you cried, that it's okay, but that biologically our tears have salt, and salt is a purification and release chemical. So as you put that in your tongue, it helps you to release and purify those thoughts and those things that originally had you cry. And um, doesn't do anything for the body, but emotionally, those are the way it grounds it. So ChatGPT is great. So it's just a known spiritual practice that helps you ground that it's okay to cry and that the salt triggers the purification process.
That's really cool. See, I knew there was a reason. They say. That's why I start things with they say, because I don't necessarily know that I remember, but
I've heard it said once, or
Mhm.
somebody said.
Right. But it's cool some of the stuff that you learn when you start going on a journey to figure out how to do things differently. Not necessarily it's good or it's bad, but just doing things differently. It's more useful to choose what you want to choose or choose what you want to feel than it is to let the reactions of your amygdala take over. It is more useful to unload your pockets. It is more useful to call a timeout. Like I'm big into useful, not useful, as opposed to right, wrong, good, bad, pro, con.
I love that. It's a good switch because
Hmm.
what's useful to me, what's useful to a farmer is not as useful as to the doctor. So you get to pick what's useful for you.
Hmm. Hmm. I love that.
This has been great. Danielle, I just love talking with you. It's just, uh, our backstage moment was way long because we love talking to each other. But it's so much fun to have, your wisdom, your knowledge, and your joy. It just bubbles out and just shines. So thank you for joining me today. Please share with our friend a little bit about yourself, what you do, how to get a hold of you, and then what are we going to do this week?
Hmm. So thank you, Laura Jana. Again, I appreciate you having me on. So yeah, I am Danielle, and I help scatterbrained individuals get their crap together, whether it's in their personal lives, like their emotional lives, whether it's in their tasks, their time, their process, their implementation, or I like to say your skill set, your tool set, and your mindset. I've got all your assets covered. And I really love digging in, helping people reach their goals and create their ideal future and live the life that they want in the way that they choose. So the best way to get a hold of me, of course, I'm on all the fun socials, right? It's Danielle Baily, Baily, which all that information should be in the show notes. But I've got to say, I love email. I know I'm super weird. But I think the best way to get a hold of me would be email to just reach out. I've got lots of awesome programs and things on my website. I've got a YouTube channel. I started new shorts on my YouTube channel, Laura Jane. I'm so excited about it. I've never done that before.
Oh, I'll have to go check it out because I
Oh my
haven't seen
gosh.
one yet.
It has been a process, let me tell you. Again, I was brave enough to suck at something because I couldn't get anyone to do what I wanted to do. So I got the luxury of being brave enough to suck at something long enough to create these. And I don't know that they're good or not, but if somebody has some feedback, all
Are
I want
they
to say is
useful? No.
thanks for watching, right? If you saw them, thanks for watching. So those are exciting. Some of that exciting stuff, what I'm up to now is just really helping people de-stress. And through the hypnotism practice, I love being a consulting hypnotist and watching people change and grow even in just 17 minutes. So I will have to share with you personally a couple of the before and after pictures. I think you'd be really interested
That would be way cool.
in
Yeah.
before hypnosis, after hypnosis, just how it affects people. So
Thank you so much for joining. It really is. I know that our friend with us is just in love with you too, just like me. You just have such bubble. It's just a fun, contagious is the word I'm looking for. Contagious happiness. So thank you.
thank you.
Friend Danielle and I are not medical or mental licensed professionals. We are here for entertainment. People that would love to see your journey as smooth as you can make it. So thank you for joining and stay tuned for the next episode.
Are you tired of waking up exhausted? You are not alone. If you're looking to take your life back, let's start with the simple step of adjusting your self-talk. Stay tuned for the next episode with your host, Lara Jane. Remember to follow the show so you don't miss the next simple step that you can use to feel more confident. And please leave an honest review.